By the end of this video, you're going to become a better passer. When I used to play professionally, I was consistently one of the best and most explosive passers in the world. In this video, I'm going to break down simple tips that you can start using today to make your passing game better, which is going to score you more touchdowns and win more games. So let's talk about something that we're actually going to do before we ever step foot on the virtual gridiron. We're going to go into our settings. Let's hit the pause button. This could be the main menu. We'll go into options. We'll go into settings. And then from here, we'll go into game options. There's a lot of buttons here. Let's put a 60-second timer on the clock, and let's get into this bad boy. Bang, here we go. So we're going to scroll down to passing mechanics, and we want to go passing type to placement to accuracy. The other ones here, classic is real old school. We're just moving away from that. Revamp passing is newer, but I just don't think it's that good. There's not much advantage to it. Placement is fine, but I like full control with placement accuracy. Passing slowdown, you could turn this to max if you're a brand new passer. If you're not, though, I would put this at off. Pass lead increase to none. There's an advanced thing we can do with it at small, where we can help us. It can kind of help us against man coverage, but for now, we're gonna keep this at none. That's what I usually use. Reticle speed to 7. If you want this at 13, you can put it there. If you want it lower, you can put it there. 7, though, I think is just the easiest all-around best. Reticle visibility and meter visibility are both gonna be at user only. These settings right here, if you just copy these, are gonna be great for people any skill level, any game mode, and you can use this at the absolute highest level, or it could be your first time playing the game ever, and these will work well for you. All right, 60 seconds, we actually killed that timer. Let's get to our next one. Now, if you got value from this, but you just want more, we have full offensive guides over on civil.gg. They're being used right now by over 2,000 active members, 98% of whom say they have won more games since joining. By becoming a member, you will instantly unlock everything you need to score more touchdowns, which means you're going to win more games. These are full schemes designed by the best players in the world, and right now you can get 30% off by using the link in the top description and using code CIVIL30 and unlock everything you need. Nobody wants to talk about this, but it's one of the most important things when it comes to passing. And I mean, it just makes the difference between a dot right there, which we all agree, kind of a laser beam, and an incompletion right here, which we all agree, not a great. We catch it, but not a great throw, right? I think we're all on the same page. What's the difference right there? Well, this throw right here, I'm just going to hold the icon down. I'm just going to throw it, right? Again, not a great throw, gets intercepted. This time, though, I'm going to pass lead. Now, we'll talk about how to do that in a moment, but this is a pass lead right here, wide open. So we have the difference between an interception the play before and a dot the play after with the exact same route combo, the exact same defense, the exact same everything. Only difference was a pass lead. So what are we doing here to pass lead? When you're throwing the ball, this is when you're holding the wide receiver icon, you are going to very simply press and push the left stick in whatever direction you want to pass lead the ball. Imagine you're throwing a ball in real life and your receiver's running. You would want to put that ball in a spot where only your receiver can get it. So let me show you an example of a bad pass lead. This time I'm going to pass lead it straight up with the left stick. We're going up, we're going into the DB, and we just broke our player's back. That's not good. You want your players to have functional spines. All right, so to pass lead again, we're going to push the left stick, but now we're going to push the left stick in the direction away from the defense. That's the key, okay? Sometimes people get into pass leading, and they're like, oh, I'm going to pass lead. And by pass leading, I'm just going to push it wherever. I'll push it up right here. Why not? That's wrong. We want to push it away from the defense, and this applies to a lot of different routes. Let's actually take, for example, I'm going to improv this. Let's go here. Let's pass lead. Boom. That was a pass lead down, right? Very tight window right here to my wide receiver. Very, very tight. Straight down. That's really the only area I have that isn't going to go directly into a DB. So I'm pushing the left stick down right there. Watch what happens here if I pass lead it inside. Interception. We have the difference there from a pick to a dot. You can imagine the difference that makes throughout a drive. Because sometimes it's not the play calls that you're making. It's not the reads that you're making. Those are fine. You're just not pass leading correctly. Because again, right here, bad pass lead, interception. Right? Right here, though, good pass lead, we're going to have a contested catch. Right? Bang. Boom. We're able to hold on to that ball. That's a massive difference. This is how you keep drives going. This is how you throw lasers. This is how you score touchdowns. Right here, we can even take this concept a little bit deeper, where we're going above that hook now, and we're going to try dotting the seam. I don't know if we'll be able to fit this, but we'll try. We're going inside. Boom. Right there. That's a rope. Right? Same throw. Same ball. Same defense. This time, though, we're going to get intercepted most likely. Let's see. Bang. Swatted. Right? Pass leading's everything. Simply push the left stick in the direction away from the defense. Different routes will be pass lead differently, but also you might pass lead the same route differently against different defenses, okay? So this is not something where I'm deciding before the ball snap how I'm going to make this pass lead. No. I'm reading as the play's going on, where is the defense, and I'm going to make my throw based off of that, okay? Right here, if I'm trying to throw B on the outside, this can be a tough throw, but my only hope is to pass lead up and inside. So, like, I'll even have to highball this one. That's my only hope, and right there, sometimes pass leading, you just can't do it anyways. Like, it's just bagged. But, you see the idea. We go here again, rope that inside, bang. The pass lead is everything. It goes from an interception into a touchdown. So let's talk about what actually makes a good quarterback in Madden 26, because who you use at QB is huge, right? First and foremost, I'm a huge Lions fan, grew up in Michigan, big Jared Goff truther. Let's look at him. 88 overall, big deal. Like, he's at a high level, high rated QB in this game. 74 speed. He's got 90 awareness. Now, this awareness stat is really misleading because it plays a huge factor into overalls. But if we are the QB, if I'm using Jared Goff, his awareness actually doesn't matter at all. Now, another stat I like to take a look at is the throw power, which right here, Jared Goff's got 90 throw power, and then he has some pretty solid accuracies. For me, I'm comfortable, not that I want, but I'm comfortable with anything from the high 70s and up accuracy-wise, give or take, and we'll talk about that more in a second. Okay, so we look at someone like Jared Goff, who has 74 speed, and we look at Kyle Allen, who's 81 speed. This is not a big enough difference for me to care, although speed is a huge deal. I'll show a good example of who I would prefer over Jared Goff here in a second. This is a massive deal because at 74 speed, you're not faster than really any defensive lineman, maybe some D tackles. You're not going to be faster than anybody on defense. And so certain broken plays, you just won't be able to make. You can't do anything, right? Pressure comes in immediately. The play's dead. You can't do anything as the user. So the speed, the reason it's so important at QB is because this actually limits you as the user of that player, right? Whereas something like awareness, which is high for Jared Goff, actually doesn't matter a ton because that's you anyways, right? He could have 0 awareness and he'll play the same for me as if he had 100 awareness. Now, let's take a look at the Colts, where we have this situation. We have Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson playing for the QB1 spot for us. Now, if we look here, Daniel Jones is +4 overall and he's -4 speed. We go over to the accuracies and you'll see that Anthony Richardson loses pretty much every accuracy battle, right? Throw short, mid, and deep. He's losing all of these. And even throw on the run, he's losing by 10, which is a big deal. This is a scarier decision because it's like, well, for me, Anthony Richardson, he might miss a few more throws potentially, but I'll say this in terms of thinking where at 91 speed, you are faster than probably every player on defense except for some defensive backs. At 87 speed, you can get hawked down by certain blitzing linebackers, by blitzing corners, things like that. This gives you such a big advantage being at 91 speed. I think it's worth missing the occasional throw or two. I also don't feel like you miss a ton of them, at least in relation to the differences in these throw accuracies, right? And Anthony Richardson has better throw power as well. Now, let me show you an interesting one. So right here, I would go Anthony Richardson over Daniel Jones. Let's take a look at someone like Jaden Daniels, who is 4 overalls less than Jared Goff, okay? And let's go down and take a look at some of his throwing stats. We got throw power 92, which is better than Jared Goff. And actually, some of these are pretty comparable, right? But he has 4 overalls less than Jared Goff. Well, look at his awareness right here. Jaden Daniels' awareness is 78. Jared Goff's is 90. That's a big difference. That plays a huge factor into the overall. Do we actually care about that, though? The answer is no. We don't care about the awareness at all unless you were simming games, right? Playing a dynasty or playing franchise mode. So here, even though Jaden Daniels was 4 overalls less, just that speed alone, even if his accuracies were a little bit lower, I think it's worth it. I think getting Jaden Daniels over Jared Goff on your team would be a no-brainer because Jaden Daniels just offers a ton that Jared Goff can't replicate in-game to your team. And so that's kind of how I view the QB position. Now, different abilities do sort of play a factor here. Things like inside Deadeye, things like conductor, QB playmaker, things like that do play a little bit, do definitely play a factor. But we're just talking a little bit more surface level. Speed is a huge deal, and that's kind of how I approach some of these things. Something like this, so Marcus Mariota, never play above Goff. So let's talk about what making reads is and what making reads is not in Madden 26. It's something that a lot of people get wrong. So first and foremost, making reads is not going right here on my play, looking at it and going, I'm going to throw Y, I'm going to throw Y, I'm going to throw Y. Oh, look, I'm going to throw Y, and then throwing it. Even if I complete it, I made a huge mistake. You should never be making predetermined throws, okay? You should never, ever, at this point, know where you're going to throw the ball. Instead, what you should be doing is knowing where your eyes are going to check first and be willing to hit that if it's there, but then look past that. Now, typically, this can be seen as something called like a read progression, where on this play, this is just simple Y sail, There's a bunch of versions of this play. Steal this setup. It's great. What we're going to do here is check the right flat immediately. I'm immediately going to look for my halfback and my tight end off rip and checking the right sideline area of the field. From there, I know that if I don't like what I see, I'm going to move my eyes back to this backside drag that's attacking the very short middle part of the field. Then from there, I know my eyes will work all the way back to this in route. Okay, so let's see this in real time. Oh, don't like it. Okay, got it. So immediately, that fast, I was able to look sideline, didn't love it, went inside, right? And I liked what I saw, so I just hit that, right? If you like what you see, don't get greedy either. That's one of the biggest mistakes people will make, is that they'll like what they see, but they're like, I want something deeper, okay? We always want to first get our eyes looking at the route that's going to develop the quickest, okay? So in this case, let's just think about it. If we have this concept happening on the right side, this halfback flat and this tight end corner, and even this fade, should we look at them first? Or should we look at this deep in route, which is going to take 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Just to even cut, it took about 3 Mississippi, 3 seconds, right? It doesn't make sense to look at him first. So one of the things you're doing when you're deciding where should your eyes even go is, well, what routes develop the fastest? Halfback flat develops really fast. Okay, boom, boom. No, don't like it, don't like it, I don't like anything. And right there, I made another predetermined read, which is something we can't do, right? I determined without even looking that if I didn't have my stuff, I was going to throw it backside no matter what. Just because you have a read progression, you do not have to throw the ball. That's a huge mistake people make, and do exactly what I did right there. You can't do it. Instead, we go here. Oh, I don't like it, don't like it. Now we need to actually make the read on everything. So many people end up throwing the ball before they actually make a read, and it results in a lot of bad things, right? We can't do that. Even with the read progression, we need to identify what's open and what's not of what's actually happening on the field, because football is weird sometimes, okay? And just because something should be open doesn't mean it is open. That's a big deal, by the way. Right here, bang, we get hit, but nonetheless, we made the right read backside, and that's how fast you can get backside as well if you don't like what you see. Don't like it, don't like it, I like it, bang. Okay? Just like that. That's what that should look like. And to get great at your reads, you should be calling plays that you're familiar with. That's why I'm so big on running actual schemes like what we do on Civil GG. We have full built-out offenses that have the best plays that you could run with the best route combos that just rely on you then executing. It makes the game really simple, right? Bang, just like that. Notice also a good play, you should be able to hit numerous different routes on it. We've hit numerous routes on this play. I think we've hit 4, right? Here, bang. Also, I could have hit tight end, but I didn't like what I saw at tight end immediately. So, we just worked down. And sometimes with different reads, might be to go flat, bang, bang, go here again. Like, we could work our way up to the tight end from there. You just want to make sure you have a progression in your mind of where you're going to be looking, right? Typically for clear out routes like this right here, you're not going to throw this type of route too often unless they just blow coverage. So keep that in mind. A lot of people get trigger happy with looking for the routes that go deep. Avoid doing that. Avoid it, avoid it, avoid it. Nice, we missed that throw. All right, one more. Go here. Bang. Quick throw. Got it. Right, and when you get the ball quick like that, it makes blitzing really hard to do. Now, I'm going to be radically honest with you guys here, and we're talking about the idea that most stock plays in Madden are not great. And if you call these, you're going to be setting yourself up to fail a lot of the times because there's just not many great routes that come on a lot of these plays, and the route combos themselves leave a lot to be desired. So, what is a stock play? Essentially, I called this play, and if I just snap the ball without making a single adjustment, that play is stock, okay? We didn't change anything. It's just what came on the play. The issue with this is a lot of plays aren't as good as they potentially could be, and it leaves a lot to be desired, all right? So to change a play, we're going to press Y or triangle, and that's actually going to bring up the receiver selection menu. When we select a receiver, we can then hot route them, okay? You see with the left stick, right stick, and D-pad, we have these different routes we can put them on. Now in this segment, I'm going to show you guys a couple, really 3 different concepts that I want you to steal. We're working out of the 49ers offensive playbook. I'm in the Gun Bunch X Nasty. But keep in mind, these are concepts that you can steal and apply to numerous different offenses year after year after year. I've used these for a long time now, all right? So we're going to first work out of the play called Smash Return. So let's select that, and let's go up against a random defense. Now, this play is totally stock right here. This is what the play would look like if we just snapped it. I don't love it. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as it could be, at least in my opinion, and what works at a high level. Instead, what I would do to this play is, first and foremost, check and release routes, fun fact, aren't great in the game. So we're going to double tap wire triangle, put our halfback on a flat route up on the right stick. He's on this now. He's going to attack the flat pretty hard. Then I always like to have some route pushing things deep in case they get aggressive underneath, they go too hard with their switch stick, they blow coverage, whatever it might be. I'm going to take my point wide receiver, RB, and put him on a streak. Wire triangle, RB, up on the left stick. We got him on a streak. Now, I'm going to drag my tight end, and what we're creating here is a high-low concept in the middle, along with a little trail. We have quick flat, we have quick drag, we have return route, and then we have an in route from our X wide receiver. So let's snap this ball. We take a look at what we're seeing here. Then we're going to go quick in that seam. My read progression on this play is very quickly, I'm going to my halfback flat. I sometimes neglect him, though, I'll be honest with you, which I shouldn't. Then I'm going to tight end drag, so quick boom boom. Then I'm going high-low between my return route, which is that backwards zig on the right, and this in route on the left. Let's hut, bang. Oh, I had it actually. I kind of missed it again, but you hit it late. That's where, honestly, for me, one of the big things I neglect sometimes, I shouldn't, like I already said, is that halfback flat right there. Don't love them. We're going to go tight end drag. And big thing, too, if you snap the ball and you don't love what you see immediately on a certain read, move past it. Don't stare it down. So many people will stare down a read they don't like, and it results in not a good thing. Like, you don't want to do that. So we go here again. Let's snap this ball. Don't love it. Boom, we actually got blitz. Now, one of the big things with the blitz is a lot of times, at least in the route combos I run, we can pretty much always block our halfback. Oops, didn't mean to do that. We can almost always block our halfback if we think we're getting blitz, which can just be helpful. Didn't love it, didn't love it. Let's work our eyes up, and we end up throwing an incompletion. Now, I got bluffed right there because the halfback didn't blitz. That's okay. Let's go here again. The big thing with these types of plays, especially to see if a play is good, is what is your completion rate, especially against random defenses. Right now, I think we've completed the pass every single time except for one, which is a pretty good completion rate, right? Boom. Kind of missed that read early again. I gotta make sure I'm locked in on that flat read because you see the value in it, and if you miss it, well, you're not making the defense respect it, right? And the defense, we need them to respect it. So right here, we're gonna start making the defense actually respect that bad boy, able to get some yards after it, okay? So this is a basic concept that we can steal from a lot of different plays. So now we're gonna be working out the gun bunch Y flex. I'm gonna talk about the play called Z spot right here. Now this is a cool one because it's almost a really good play in a flood concept, but it's not quite there yet. One of the issues with this play right here is on the right side, we don't have what's called a clear out route. We're attacking the sideline with this flat in this corner, but if I snap this ball, notice what the deep zone on the right side does. He's able to easily play my corner route, and we have to catch it in traffic like that, which if you can do, awesome. I don't think you'll do consistently. So what I would do here, I'm curious what you would do, but what I might do is streak my outside wide receiver here, so because then against zone, I'm totally attacking the right side, the right sideline. And now they have to really respect this. What's also a big deal though, is on your route combos, you want to have a way to be able to beat man and zone. That's just an important thing. Whereas something like this route combo on the right isn't great against man. It is great against zone. And so right here, you see a little bit of match. We're able to play games with our halfback because he's on this kind of stock option route, which is actually kind of cool. If you wanted to though, you could angle route him, right? That's an option. So we have this right here now on the right side. My first read progression is always going to be starting on the right. I'm just high-lowing the sideline, okay? Always just high-lowing that sideline. Another thing we could do is custom stem this corner route down. Whenever you have a deep cutting corner route, you could get him to cut a little bit faster, a little bit shorter. That's simply by pressing wire triangle, selecting him, holding left bumper, and then using the D-pad or the left stick to push him down or up to change the depth of his route. Right here again, we're actually going to go, nice. We had A. I'm trying to hit the corner route, but the game doesn't want me to right now, so we'll keep on taking underneath if we need to. Right here, we're actually not loving what we have. We had potential blown coverage right there. Able to hit the halfback. He ends up dropping it. Not the end of the world. Christian, I need a little bit better out of you, brother. We go here again. Okay. We have a good man beater right there. Able to hit him in stride. So, one thing you're noticing on this play, though, is that this corner on the backside, I'm not using him at all. And so, this is a thing where if you're going to have routes on the field, you want to make sure you're using everybody, right? You don't really want a route that, like, you can't throw or you refuse to throw. So, one thing I would do here, let's say on this play with this backside corner route that, like, it's kind of by himself. One of the best routes to have by themselves is a curl, but actually to stem the curl up twice on the D-pad. The wire triangle, bang, bang. So this curl route's going deep down the field. This is like one of the better kind of like gotcha routes in the game where, and you see right there, deep zone had to run with the streak, we're able to hit the deep corner. The curl route's one of the best routes for when you have to have something just by itself, as he just does a good job against a lot of different things. Right here, though, we read that right side first, able to hit this. This is another route concept that you're able to apply from a lot of different formations that is just always really good. And there's different ways to run this, too. To show you what I mean, I could out route my outside wide receiver and take my flat and put him on a streak. Same route combo. right? Same idea. Boom, out route. We actually had corner, but I had him underneath. Cool. That's the idea. Now, in my opinion, one of the easiest route concepts to just steal and just be able to run at a high level is going to be out of the Y off trio close. This is going to be the play flood. This comes actually pretty stock, but let's call this play. Let's go random play on defense. And let's first just snap this ball. Okay, bang. The reason I like this so much is that we have a lot of different routes we're able to hit very fast. This play develops quickly, which is huge against good pass rushes and blitzes. The idea here is that we have an out route, we have a zig inside of the out route, and then we have a backside in as well. One of the big things with this play, though, is that one, this corner route's kind of on his own. He's not going to do great against zone, and against man, corner routes just aren't always great. So he's a little bit kind of on his own. What I might do here is put him on an in route, custom stem him up like that twice, all right? And then return route my outside wide receiver on the left. So now this play looks like this, and we're going to utilize these routes a little bit better. If we wanted to, we could get our halfback involved by motioning him out. I'm not going to right now. This is a route concept that is good every single year, and you can recreate this from a lot of different things. I'll show you that in a moment. But first, the reads on this play are pretty basic. First thing I'm going to look for is the out route, then the zig inside. Then I'm going to make a high-low in the middle of the field between the return route and the in. So we go here, out route. Don't love it. Don't love it. Okay, we go in. Boom, able to hit him. Okay. Pretty easy. That's kind of what we're looking like. Again, if you don't like what you see, just move your eyes. You have to. You have to have an idea of where you want to go. So let's go now to Bunch X Nasty, and we'll recreate the same idea from here, and we'll go from this play. So let's go out route. We'll go zig, stem him up, and we can even make it look like this now. Same idea, slightly different look though, right? Got the zig, bang, able to hold on to it for a couple games. You see the idea. We got blitz. I probably should have blocked my halfback. So we'll go here again, though. This idea. This is all being done with hot routes, right? Go here again. In route. Got it. I had the return route, too. I could have hit. Did I miss? I don't know. I don't think I missed the out route. But you see how we're able to take these ideas and apply them to other formations. That's huge. Not enough people do that. Out route. Oh, got it. Cool. Route. Make sure you stay true to your first reads. Right? Woo. A little busy on them. So this is one of the biggest things I see people do all the time when it comes to passing, and I'm begging you to please stop. One-on-one jump balls are not a good throw. At the very least, they're not the best throw you could be making. This type of route right here, we're just going to throw it up a few times with Justin Jefferson in random defensive coverages. What you're going to see here kind of consistently is that it's pretty rare for Justin Jefferson to come down with this ball, even though this is Justin Jefferson. This is a big deal because so many times I see people see this one-on-one opportunity and they're like, heck yeah, I see quarterbacks throw this in real life. Let me take a shot in here in game. It's just not a high percentage ball, okay? If you find yourself throwing these one-on-one shots a lot, you probably just need to be calling better plays. Now, that does not mean this is never a potential throw, okay? If you have somebody, especially press coverage right here, there's an argument to glance there for a second. That's the key. If you're looking at something like this pre-snap and you have one of these one-on-one balls, you want to glance there immediately and see, is there a potential throw there? Right here, there was, right? They blew cover. They actually ran a cat blitz where the outside corner blitzed and it was just kind of bad coverage. We'll take it. Right here, we see that press coverage again. We want to glance. Oh, don't like it. We got to get our eyes off of it, though. And that's one of the big things when it comes to making reads, right? Which is, if we're going to look somewhere, we better be able to get our eyes off of it fast. If I just stare this down, right, and then finally throw it, or then finally look at it and look to, nice. That is fire, but it's just a bad throw. If I make this read right, and then finally decide to get off of it, I've probably missed other routes that are getting open, right? Because how long does it take for a streak to get open? Takes a couple seconds. With that being said, you can take this quick glance, and if you see him win, and the overtop coverage kind of bails, that's when you're able to hit it. It's just, you don't want to just stare it down, right? You're looking for that initial bump with no help over top, then we can look at it. Right there, Justin Jefferson has his X factor, so he's going to catch these for the rest of this, so keep that in mind. But even right here, this is not a throw we want to be making. Like, it's just not. Yeah. So I want to talk about that. If you enjoyed that video, you feel like you got value, you should check out civil.gg. You'll be joining over 2,000 active members. And right now, with code CIVIL30, you can get 30% off everything you need to start improving your passing game, scoring more touchdowns, and winning more games.